What if we could use the barrel to climb up, right? Vaulting and all that. Oh, there's stuff in it. Oh, somebody was here. I'm gonna drop your stuff on the floor because I'm a good dude. See if we can use this to climb. Vaulting being a thing in 105. Oh, definitely. Oh, yes! See how vaulting is just crazy? Yeah, barrels, apparently a vaulting tool. Oof. How dark is that? Can you guys see it all? I feel like that. I'm looking at the preview on the side. It looks so crazy dark. Let me try doing this. At least I've got another one of these. Let's see that again, but let's get it a little bit closer. Hopefully we can pull this off before we get clipped. Okay, so we're playing currently at 105. Recording this on September 1st, depending on when this comes out, but we're talking about 105. Normally I would do this 105 piece right away at when it hits live branch, but it's currently an experimental. But I believe it's getting so close to live branch that we might as well go over some of the features, some of the fixes. There'll be a lot of changes. We'll be going over specifically all the different changes, but I think one of the most notable changes that are coming for us on the console, because we're currently on 104, waiting for the MVG fix, waiting for the light fix, waiting for inventory fix. So supposedly those are coming for us on the console in 105, but what I'm talking about here is vaulting, and we just saw this here a second ago, but apparently you can climb on top of this, and then vaulting is done by jumping, by the way, and then if you're close to another surface, you jump again, and now I can make it to the top of this, whereas before, I could not make that jump unless I had that little barrel with me, so I just found out barrels, OP, you can use that stuff for raiding, right? Just getting on top of stuff. It's going to change a lot. I have said in the past, vaulting, or I should say building structures, player-built structures, do stop people from vaulting. So even if it's a low wall, you can't vault over it. So player-built walls are still meaningful, something to remember. There's been a change to melee. There's been a change to bullets over distance. As a matter of fact, let me go through some of the list. Like I said, typically I would go through this when it's live branch, but I believe that we're getting close. So just so you know, on the PC it goes experimental and then it goes to live, and then when it hits the live branch here on PC, it's then shipped off to be ported over to PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. So basically when we see it happen on live branch, we know it's coming for us soon. Now that can be anywhere between, I've seen it flip as fast as a week. It could be anywhere it could be as long as 1 or 4 weeks. In like its typical window, but we'll see. I mean, there's all types of things that could cause it to be delayed. So I think I've got the patch notes here somewhere. Let's take a look. Oh, I do. Okay, let's go through the first set. I think this is like halfway through August. Is that right? Hang on, let me make sure I've got it. And we'll be going through these specific changes. And there's obviously things here that aren't listed. Some of the things I wanted to check are like rating stuff. We want to see if the sharpening stone worked, because the duct tape glitch does not work anymore in 105. I've been trying to put the word out for our console players. Basically, stock up on them, right? Okay, I think this is it. Okay, so 105 added a pistol and M-Lock 91 with attachments, adding a pistol MK2 with a magazine. There's a 22 pistol. We just found it. It's actually right here. It is doo-doo. And there's the magazine for it as well. Yep, .22 LR. I'm sure this is named after another pistol. I just don't know what it is. I know they have to change it because of copyright and whatnot. Anyways, that's the pistol. A new rifle, KAS 74U. I think that takes the 101 ammo, but I'm not sure. Vaulting and climbing enabled players to pass obstacles up to 2.3 meters high. Exception for base fences, gates, and watchtowers. Added the .22 LR rounds, which go into the MK. Tutorial screens in the main menu. VON whisper talk shout voice levels. That's another thing we're going to experiment with, I think, in other videos throughout the week. Probably more towards when it hits release state, like the live branch, just so we know what we're dealing with. Hopefully it gets implemented correctly for us on console. Hopefully infected are attracted by talking players. That's way cool. Again, we'll be testing that in more detail. Food poisoning. I can't wait to test that on other people. Items could be thrown through windows. That's huge. Patrol pants couldn't be wrung out, and so that's been fixed. IV saline bag and IV bag don't have any effect. That's been fixed. Consequences of giving blood of incompatible blood type were applied to the applying person instead of the target. That's fixed. Let's see, tweaked. Ambient loot can now also spawn in rotten and dried states. The saline bag is faster to apply and now increases the blood replenishment visualized through the medication pill indicator. Given the wrong type of blood can now cause the character to go unconscious and trigger hematic. I don't even transfusion reaction. I don't know how to say that. Hemloidic transfusion reaction. You can see it. Hemorrhoids. Hemlic transfusion reaction is faster and more severe. Tweaked. Bullet damage is reduced together with the bullet velocity over distance. I can't wait to test that one out. Lowered the generation rate of character health. Huge. Adjusted the injured stance thresholds to allow more mobility at lower character health values. What's up? We got Doctor in the chat. What up, B? Increased the amount of blood loss from bleeding sources. Oh. Yeah, actually, we saw that earlier when I got my booty clapped. Quantity in UI is now hidden for the saline bag. IV saline bag, epi, and morphine. Yeah, because they did have a percentage before. Because they're like a one-time use. That's why. Reduced damage and shock values received from the infected. Nice. Slightly increased the chance for bleeding source from an infected attack. Lowered the damage of the player's fists to health and shock. Yeah, but it feels like that melee got an uptick. Drinking from wells and ponds should no longer get the players replenished so fast. Yeah, it was a little fast. We've noticed a slowdown. Global lighting config has been adjusted. Overall brightness during the day. Less prominent shadows during clear days. Less blue in shadows. I haven't really noticed that yet, but good to know. Let's see if there's any other major pieces here. And then that was the major one done on what? Was that the 5th? No, the 1st? No, the 8th. No, 15th. Jeez, hi. Okay, added the Sarka 120 and attachments. Dead player bodies decay over time. Fixed tweaks infected. Stuck in hand slots with tents. These are just upkeep. I'm just trying to see if there's any tweaks. Okay, tweaks. Car crashes can now decrease the player's health. Ooh. That's a good one, right? That's interesting. Hang on, let me make sure we're not getting booty clapped here. Huts. And again, we're going over this stuff, so us on council have a good idea of what's coming. And we will test these. Spawning orientation of Gunter parts. Salmonella lowered the stomach volume threshold for vomiting, increased the vomiting chance. Added removal of water and energy when vomiting. Yikes. So stamina, I would imagine. Cholera over time. Water drained added. Lowered the stomach volume threshold for vomiting. Oh, increased the chance of vomiting and added water and energy removal when vomiting. So that vomit icon basically is a lot more severe. Food poisoning. Vomiting no longer cancels it. Lowered agent activation threshold. Lowered vomiting frequency. Water and energy removal during vomiting. Yikes. Sounds like those ailments are definitely going to be, yeah, a lot more severe. Added food poisoning agents for gasoline and disinfectant to be replaced by toxicity modifier later. Yikes. Eating a vitamin pill now shows a UI indicator. Pill icon. Okay. Fresh spawn player loadout. Road flare switch to chem light of random color. That means we can no longer freshie fire kill ourselves. That's alarming. Increased blood loss from bleeding sources. Ooh. That's a big one, right? I'm glad we're going over these. We did discover that earlier, but I kind of forgot. Okay. Bandaging using a rag or bandana no longer causes the wound infection because wound infection has no effect on player character. Wait. Because wound infection has no effect on player characters. So confused. Says all pants can be wrung out now. That's tight. Bandaging using a rag or bandana no longer causes the wound infection. Okay. I get that now. Okay, next. See how these are getting smaller and they're just like tweaks? Like, not tweaks, but polish. Cholera has a chance to appear in water bottles and canteens when initially spawned. Yikes. Yikes. No, so we gotta basically throw them out? We're rolling the dice on that? Goo. Tweaks, experimental and steam charge to the launcher by default. Tweak, default, despawn time for dead bodies and animals increased. Interesting. We're just going to do the added and tweaks. Stamina notification when the player cannot perform an action due to missing stamina. Okay. And tweaks. Badge color of rotten items. Stamina consumption for jumping and climbing increased. Okay, so we can't really spam a lot of the parkour stuff. And let's see, 27th of August. Let's see, tweak. Removing the crafting attachments for the barrel. We did see that. The leather sewing kit can no longer be used for treating injuries. Goo. Treating injuries using the sewing kit now takes 20% as opposed to 1%. Damn it, they noticed. Increased AI awareness for player voices. Fair enough. Fixes here. And that was the 29th of August. Yeah, so we're getting there. It's definitely getting close. Whew, there was a lot, right? Mostly like tweaks and stuff, like balance. It's definitely going to change some stuff for us here. So yeah, we'll be going through a lot of these, especially when it hits live branch. We'll be able to have it settle in. We'll be playing a little bit more, testing raid values and everything else. Because I have a feeling some of that might have changed. We'll see. They don't always list everything in there, but we'll see what it all feels like. The vaulting. Vaulting's huge. You can get on everything now. See, before we couldn't reach this. Yeah. I just love the fact that we can actually use this to... Let's see, just jump in front of stuff. Alright, that works too. Jeez, I did it perfect. No, I can't do it. Come on, hippie. I'm gonna pick it up again because I'm bad. How am I missing this now? I'm so bad at this. Drop it. Now we should be able to get this. Is it 2.3 metries? How am I missing this? Oh, I think I have to wait for my stam. Sounds like we need a permanent medic in the team. And the cars, did they fix them? Hard to say until we see it on the console hardware. Well, you can jump from here. I did it earlier. There it is. Jeez, I had the hardest time with that. So any of your builds, start thinking about them now and how to cap them off. Or make your changes, because this will come sooner than you think. Anybody that's got a small build, big build, I would start to make those adjustments now at console, just so you've got some time. Do it now. Start now. Goes by pretty quick, especially if you're doing base building. You already know. So that covers most of the patch notes here. Then we'll take a look and see where we're at. And I know today we've got, again, Beaming Drive for a handful of hours, and then we'll be doing Agrarian Skies, Minecraft action, later on early evening, late afternoon-ish. Is that right? Does that make sense? Had to give some love to the other games this weekend. Oh, I snacked it for my beverage. Uno momentos, por flavin. Colin Gamer says, did they fix the duct tape glitch? Yes. Yes, they did. You can no longer restrain yourself to get your durability back. Pro tip. Yeah, that's a lot of the stuff we'll be testing. over the next week? Good question.